Hey guys, the iOS 26 is here, and I want us to compare it to the iOS 18 to see if it's really better than the iOS 18. So that's the reason why I have two phones here, the iOS 26 versus the iOS 18. Let's go. Now, first thing first, the always on. As you can see, the always on display on the iOS 26 is just better. The clock is much bigger and it looks really nice. I like it. As compared to the 18, which is just a little thing on the top, little clock on the top. And with the iOS 26, you can customize the size of the clock. So if you want it bigger like this, you can do it. If you want it smaller, you can do it. If you want the size of the numbers bigger or skinnier, you can do that. So the always on display on the 26 is better. Secondly, the lock screen is also better. Check it out. So when you get to the lock screen, the clock goes behind the wallpaper, which is nice. Check it out. You see? As compared to 15, it doesn't have that. To iOS 18, it doesn't have that. And even the unlock keypad also looks different. I mean, liquid glass as compared to normal. And when you tap it, you see, it acts like water. I really like that. As compared to that of 18, the animation on the iOS 26 on the keypad is just better. And now when you get in the icons on the 26, you can have a liquid glass icon right here, which looks nice. And it's highly customizable also. Now, if you get into edit, customize, now you can either choose tinted, which is going to add a little bit of color behind the icons, which I like it. Or you could just leave it clear, or you could put it on dark or light. Yeah, but I like the clear version as compared to the 18, which it's not too customizable. You have tinted, automatic, dark, and light. Yeah. And also, when you check it out here, you realize that here, you could change between the smaller icons to the large icons. It's written there small and large. But on the iOS 26, there's a little icon right here. So if you tap this, it takes you back to the smaller icons. You tap, oh, this looks better. And also you can make the brightness of the wallpaper brighter, the same thing on the iOS 18. But I like it dark. Next, when you pull down the control center, there's liquid glass as compared to just the normal icons on the iOS 18. And even here, the control center is highly customizable. You can control the size. You tap and hold. You see, you can change the size of each of the settings or each of the icons. You can change the size to be bigger, rounder, squarer. And now when it comes to notifications, on the liquid glass is better. iOS 26 looks great. Everything is transparent. And if we get into the settings and we tap the battery, you see, it's different. Now on the iOS 26, it gives you the line and it gives you the percentage on the top where you could see the battery percentage. Last charge to 74, 1 hour ago, but iOS 18 doesn't have that. Another thing I really love about the iOS 26 is the camera. First of all, the camera icon is different from that of the iOS 18. And when you get into the camera, like right here, it's much easier now on the iOS 26. For example, if I want to get into more features, I just slide from bottom to top. It gives me everything like flash, the live, the timer. Meanwhile, on the iOS 18, you have to click on this icon at the top, which was a pain in the ass, man. You got to bring your hand right up here to click this arrow before it brings up all the other features like flash, exposure. But now you don't have to do that. You just slide your finger. You see? Way easier. And with the liquid air, look how everything just moves. Changing a different shooting mode. It moves really nice. Oh, this is really cool, man. I love this. And also another thing I also appreciate is the shooting mode. Now, if you get into video, you can now change the different frame rates. You just tap right there. You see, it always stays here. You tap. If you want it in 4K, if you want log or HDR, or if you want the frame rate to 120 or 60, it's just right on the screen. On the iOS 18, you have to come right here. You click once. It goes to 24. You click again. It goes to 30. You click again. You just keep on clicking. But now on the iOS 26, you tap here. It gives you all the different options. So, okay, I want to shoot video in 120. I just tap right there. That's it. Done. Simple. Now, the Message app has also received an update. You can change the background. As you can see right here, iOS 26, iOS 18 is just plain white background. With the iOS 26, you can customize the background of every contact. All you got to do is to tap on the contact right there. Then you see right here, backgrounds. You can choose colors. There's so many different colors to choose from. Or you can choose sky, the color of the sky. You can choose water. Or my favorite, you can tap on photo. You choose the photos that are in your library, the different photos to use it. Or you can use AI. You see right here, you can use AI. Now let's say if I want to customize the background of messages like that of my wife, I'm going to use, let's say, love. Then AI is going to customize, it's going to try to look for something. It gives you different options. There'll be a lot of options that it's going to provide, like here, this one, or this one. That is another one. Well, I like this one with diamond. You choose it, and that's it. Even the photo app is much more simpler on the iOS 26 as compared to the iOS 18. Take, for example, on the bottom, you got two things, library and collection. So if you tap on collection, it gives you the collection of photos and everything. The date, portrait, photos you take together, photos of different places, collection. Or if you tap on library, it goes to everything. I like that. But on the iOS 18, it goes years, month, or it was just too complicated. And yeah, everything was just in this order. Even Safari looks better on the iOS 26 as compared to the iOS 18. Like take, for example, the search bar. Here on the 18, it's just big right in the middle. On the iOS 18, everything is more simpler right there. Then if you want more features, you tap on these three dots. It gives you the other features. But on the iOS 18, the bookmark was there, or type was there. It was just right there on the bottom, taking more space. But on the iOS 18, this gives you, the icons doesn't take too much space. You have more screens to do your search or whatever you want. It's easier. Something that I found on the iOS 26 is that search bars has been moved to the bottom. Like for example, in the setting, you see, on the iOS 18, the search bar is right on the top here. So you have to bring your fingers up to touch, then you look for whatever you're looking for. But on the iOS 26, you see on the bottom, that's the search bar. The same thing with, if we get into the photo app, it's the same thing. The search bar on the iOS 18 is right here on the top. But on the iOS 26, it's here on the bottom. So it's a good thing because smartphones are getting bigger. Like they're bigger. 6.9 inches is very big. So your finger cannot reach right on the top. So all you got to do is just click on the bottom. Androids have been doing this. Like I remember Samsung Galaxies, all their search bar were on the bottom, which helps you with one-hand usability. But this is it's now that Apple is bringing that same features to the iPhones. So I guess better late than never. In the Translate app, Favorites has been moved to the top on the iOS 26. As you can see right here, on the iOS 18, Favorite was here on the bottom. But now it has been moved to the top. Yeah, but I just like the layout on the iOS 26. And man, the liquid glass feels good. The animation looks incredible. Check out the bottom. as I'm moving from translate to camera, it's like I'm dragging a bubble of water. Oh, it looks really nice, man. In the fitness app, there's a little bit of upgrade. On the iOS 18, you had just summary and sharing. But on the iOS 26, there is summary workout. So you can now choose your workouts just by tapping right here, which I like. It gives you all the different workouts. You can add more right there. So easy. Yeah, this is nice. Calculator also received an update. On the iOS 18, there's only AC. Meanwhile, on the iOS 26, there's now the delete key right there. And secondly, the calculator icon that was on the bottom has been moved to the top on the iOS 26. It's now here. But the features are the same, just the placement is different. So that's the difference between iOS 26 against iOS 18. To me, what I love the most, my number one will be the clock, the new clock, which is highly customizable. You can make it as big as possible. And secondly, the transparent, the clear design. I love it so much. And above all, the liquid animation just feels really good. I like it. So I'm a big fan of the iOS 26. Huge upgrade, much more customizable now, and I'm loving it. And the iOS 26 just took everything a whole step further. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any question about the new iOS 26. Remember, I still got my 18 and 26, so I know the differences. If you have any question, just drop it right there. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button for a lot of good videos come up on Big Phil TV.